Hi everyone, my name is Phil and welcome to Phil Does 3D. I'm a multimedia and 3D artist and I stream live on Twitch on Mondays and Tuesdays at 5 PM Pacific time in the United States, which is 10 AM if you're in Australia, or around 1 AM if you're in the UK. I hope you guys and girls are well and you all had a good weekend. Remember guys, if you do miss the live streams, you can catch up at any time by clicking the videos tab on my Twitch channel or going to my YouTube channel /Phil Does 3D. Okay, what are you guys talking about in the chat? Sniper Girl says just chat is coming on. Whoa. Wonder how long it'll take for him to do 3D this time. Helpwatch has copy and save. Sniper Girl, you're doing some work in ZBrush. Oh, ZBrush, don't you talk to me about that program. Doing sculpting on the street that you're talking about. Now, the image you showed, I think that'll look really good. It really fit the style you're going for your scene. So I think it's a great idea. Smurf's a bit worn out. Healthwatch is tired. Oh no. Smurf says programming is hard, yo. Smurf says, I'll let you use it once it's ready. I mean, technically I allow everyone to use it since it's open source. But it's the thought that counts, that's right. Helpwood spent all day today and yesterday reworking the shotgun I made earlier. I didn't realise just how bad the initial version was. It wasn't bad, dude. It looked really good. I think you're being too hard on yourself. I think the first version looked good. Sniper Girl says Phil does just chat and occasionally does 3D. Thank you, Hellforge. There's the Discord link if you want to become a Phildo and join the Phil Does 3D Discord server. Click that link. Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat. There's a gallery section on the Discord where you can show off your work, and I love looking at the stuff you guys make. The whole reason I'm on Twitch, get you guys to do 3D and show me what you're doing. But if you don't feel comfortable having me show it on the stream, just tell me when you post it and I won't. And we're going to be working on a game called The House in the Hollow. You can wishlist that now on Steam by clicking that link Hellforge popped into Twitch chat. But at any time you can always go to my Twitch channel, go to the About Me section on my channel, and if you look down the bottom you'll see a series of graphics panels. You click the one for Discord, that'll give you an invite link for the Discord server, or you click the one for the game and that will take you to the Steam store page where you can wishlist the game. It hasn't been released yet though. We're still working on it. And my website, thank you. Yes, if you want to know more about me and who I am, you can go to my website. It's either click the link in Twitch chat or my Twitch username, Phil Does 3D, with a .com on the end. Okay, I think that's everything. Smurf says, can't realise how bad it is if you never revisit it. Well, that's true. Sniper Girl says, yep, become one of Phil dildos. That's right, become a dildo and join the Phildo, become a Phildo dildo and join the Phil Does 3D Discord. Okay, so we are going to be working on the game. We're working on the landscape. Now, last week we were working on the kitchen. I'm just going to jump quickly into into the editor, and you know how we were having that problem with the what's it called? I had a mind blank. That thing there. Well, Smurf actually was correct. It's correct now. Now the problem was, just for anyone that runs into the issue, was the color space. As Smurf very said, when the metallic and roughness were brought into Unreal, they were brought in as an sRGB texture. I'll just show you with one of these, which isn't this asset, but so yeah, generally as soon as Unreal defaults to sRGB, and roughness and metallic should be in a linear space, so all you really need to do is untick that little box there on the metallic and the roughness, not on the normal or on the color map, and doing that will fix up the specular or the shininess, the metallic and the roughness of it anyway. So you were right, Smurf. Smurf says, I knew it. Smurfberry says, the same thing happened to my blue plant. The gloss was all weird when I imported it. You know, and so interesting though, it doesn't happen on all of the assets. It's only on the ones that are really highly metallic. So things like wood, you're generally fine. But if it's something really metallic, like this bit here, or this bit, then yeah, that's the problem. So yeah, if you run into the issue where things are too glossy, they don't look like they did in Substance Painter, say, if you were doing it in Painter, you've got to change the metallic and the roughness to linear color space, and you do that just by unchecking that little sRGB checkbox. Smurf says, didn't match Painter at all. Yeah, I know. I know it didn't. But again, it's generally only the metallic, like full metal props, like the, what is that called? Yeah, anything fully metal anyway. Sniper Girl says, never have that issue. My metallic roughness and ambient occlusion maps are all stacked into a single material using RGB. That's interesting you haven't had that problem, because even a stacked material, if it's not in the right color space, I would have thought could cause an issue. But I'm not stacking my color spaces, so. Again, that's a good thing to do for performance, to stack everything into the RGB like Sniper Girl is doing. For sure. I haven't been doing it because I get confused all the time between what the red channel, the blue channel is, and the green channel, which one's which one's the ambient, which one's the metallic. Yeah, so I haven't done that. And yeah, I didn't start doing it to begin with because, you know, this was originally going to be a cinematic that we're turning into a game. So stick to what you know. That's what I've done. But that is the best way to go. And again, if you're using Painter, you can set up Painter to do that automatically for you. When you export the textures, it'll pack them into the RGB. Okay, so yeah, and I just wanted to say too, I put a surprise in the fridge. So you guys that play the game, check out the fridge. That's all I'm saying. Okay. So we're going to work on another part of the landscape now. We were working on, actually, before we do that, we're going to go back to the front of the level, you know, the main gate, because I just want to add some steps and some planters, and then we're going to move to another part of the landscape. So let's do it. Along the path. Outside the gate. Okay, so yeah, I just want to put some stairs in here and some planters in here. So I've already got the stairs and the planter in here, so all we have to do is add them and add some plants in the planter. Let's pull in the step. Now, where is it put it? Hang on, I'm going to try and work out what it's done here. Let me just delete that and see if I can't add it here. There we go. It was just too far away. Healthwood says, I tend to use the UE packed material export preset in Painter. Yep. So it's a few less material. It's a good way to do it. It's fewer draw calls. It's good. So it's a few less materials I have to keep track of. Just takes a while to get used to how to set them up. Yeah, that's the bit that always confuses me, because I always get confused between, is the red the metallic or the roughness, or is the blue the metallic? There. And because I just don't want to think about it, I'm not doing it that way. But that is the best way to do it for performance and optimization. Do as I say, not as I do, as they say. Smurf says, I'm pretty sure you can mess up the color space on those two. Yeah, I think I'm pretty sure you can as well, Smurf. So be aware of that. even if you are packing the metallic, the roughness and the ambient occlusion into the RGB, if they're not in the right color space, you're still going to have that problem. So that it still has to be linear for metallic and roughness and ambient occlusion. So make sure that they're linear, particularly if it's a metallic object. Like things like stone, like the steps here, it's less of a problem for some reason. They still should be linear anyway. But particularly on fully metallic objects, they won't import correctly. Unreal defaults to sRGB and for things like roughness and metallic, which really should be linear, and making it linear is just unchecking that checkbox. But you won't notice it, like I said, on a lot of things like stone here. If they were in the wrong color space, it wouldn't matter so much. Unreal doesn't seem to have a problem. It's only on the metallic and the roughness that it has a problem on a metallic object. Or that it's noticeable, I should say. But they should all be at linear color space anyway. Android Lost, hey, it's good to see you, Android Lost. How'd the move go? You all settled in? With that sweet 5950, AMD 5950 CPU that Android Lost just purchased. Lucky. So yeah. So have you got it installed yet, or are you still in the process? Because I know what moving is. I hate moving. It's one of the worst things. I hate it when my environment's disturbed, and moving is the ultimate disturbance of your environment. So yeah, maybe you're still unpacking. Although I don't know how long I could wait not to put that CPU to the test. Helpwood says, and Bacon Sniper Gill says the Smurf been doing it for a while and haven't seen it. Yeah, you won't see it. Like I said, if it's an object that's, say, stone like this, you won't notice it. You will only notice it on a fully metallic sort of object. Like that ducting. That's the word I was looking for. Like the ducting we had in the kitchen that was all metal. Andrew Duff says, yeah, settled in. By settled in, I mean I have the CPU installed. That's the way to go. Get your priorities right. Get that CPU in before you do any unpacking. I'm just going to move these steps in a little bit because I want to make sure that the height of them is correct. And the best way for me to do that will be to compare them to the stairs we've got just inside the gate here. So I'm just going to move them in really quick for it to do a quick comparison. Sit up straight. There we go. Android Love says, doing good. Sniper Girl says, even with metallic, I haven't had the issue. My metal materials for the trash can all look normal. Well, that's strange because it should be in linear space. But anyway, if it's working for you, then that's fine. But generally, yeah, anything metal should be in linear. Roughness and metallic should be in linear space. That's pretty good. I got that sized correctly, which is good. Let's move it back. Sniper Girl says, same with the one that I made for the big water tank. It's not an issue if you stack materials. Well, and again, I'm not using stacked materials, so... But I still would have thought that if they weren't in the right color space, it would cause an issue. I'm being schooled here, but I would have thought it would. Andrew Dust says, I actually plan on giving away my old PC once I put it back together. I took everything out of the old one to clean it. So you're going to give it to like a relative or something? Which is a good thing to do. It's always good to repurpose your old machines. Don't make them landfill. Somebody could get use out of them, I'm sure. We want to try and, you know, save the planet, not destroy it. So that's a great idea.
I hear the army coming round the corner. We man the barricades to reach on the farthest end. And I pray the wise man shows us hard from holy. Oh, we give strength to find our destiny.
Elfwood says, hack the planet. Okay. You guys have seen what's been going on with global warming recently, and it hasn't been good. They're all talking about it at the moment on the news channels about the way that the climate is changing and how quickly it's changing. How am I going to do this? That is the question. Andrew Duff says, don't know yet. Relative or friend. I might even give it to a student in need. It's not the best, obviously, but it works. So look, I think that's a great idea. A really good idea. I mean, I tend to repurpose my old machines as rendering machines, which is why I have quite a few dotted around the flat here. But I think giving it away to somebody that needs it is a good idea. Sniper Girl says, yeah, climate change, it's much worse than even the worst scientific models predicted. Scary shit. It is scary shit, you're right. And yeah, it is. It is much worse than they thought it was ever going to be. So that's not good. But, you know, it was easy to see what was happening. You didn't need a report from anyone to tell you that the weather was going weird. So, yeah. How am I going to do this? I think what I might do is... Now you have to forgive all here. There'll be another level out this way. So, which basically the game is being broken up into 3 distinct sections. The start section, this section, which is the middle of the game, and then one section past this one, another landscape. So one landscape, which is at the start of the game, this landscape, which is the middle of the game, and then there'll be a third landscape, which will be at the end of the game. So I think what I'm going to do is that's okay. Yeah, I think what we might do here is to fill this gap, because I can't extend the landscape, and I can't move the steps back because it interferes with. Actually, that is a mesh. We could probably move that. Yeah. They're rock formations. Let's see if we can do it this way though. So instead of actually moving the rock formation, we can move the stairs forward, and I can take a rock. So let's go into our rock subfolder. Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Where did I put it? Cliffs, I might be under that. It is, but I don't really have a rock here that is going to work for me. I don't think. Hang on, what's going on here? Healthwood says, what happened to you, Phil? You got into working super fast today. I know. Did YouTube get to you? No, they didn't get to me. I've got a deliverable due next week, so So I'm not streaming next week, guys. I'll be back the week after. So I'm streaming today and tomorrow. No Monday or Tuesday next week, but back the week after. That's because I've got a couple of meetings I've got to go to at the ArchViz studio. I've got a couple of meetings at the game studio, and we've got a deliverable due at the game studio. So that's probably the other reason I'm getting stuck into work, because I have to get everything ready for this deliverable happening next week. I've got to send something off to NVIDIA. Smurf says, hello, yes, I'm in need, give computer. You just built a new PC, Smurfberry. Andrew Loss says, yeah, that's right, you just built one. Smurf says, yeah, but what if I had more? You can never have too many. Snubby Girl says, no, I got to him. That's right, she got to me. First thing she said in chat this morning was, I wonder how long he'll take before he does work. So I had to prove her wrong. Sniper Girl says, Telwood says Sniper Girl equals YouTube confirmed. Sniper Girl says, my first message, Phil does just chat is coming on. Wonder how long it will take him to do 3D this time. That's right, it didn't take me long at all. Thank you very much. Okay, look, I think what we're going to do here is, this will be a good way for us to promote Epic Games Quicksort. Because I need a stone here that's going to bridge between the step and the edge of the terrain. So I'm just going to do a save all and have it a copy, because why not? And we're going to jump into Quicksort. So, what's going on here? Hang on. Oh. Hellforge has popped an image in the gallery section of the Discord server of the gun. Very sweet. And Sniper Girl is posting the damaging work she's been working on in ZBrush for potholes and things. We'll check those out just before I close off for the day today, guys. So remind me, and we'll have a look at those. Halfwood says that's fair enough. I hope the meeting goes well. Yeah, again, I'm sorry, guys. It's a bit short notice for me telling you I can't stream next week, but yeah, sort of these two meetings for the ArchViz studio came up out of the blue. And yeah, the game studio I knew about, but which I could have done the game studio stuff and still streamed, but then the ArchViz studio said, we want you to come in for these two meetings. So yeah, that's what's going on next week. So I'm streaming today and tomorrow. No streams next week, but back the week after. So we're going to jump into Bridge. Quicksort Bridge. Quicksort Bridge is what I was trying to say. It was what I meant to say. We're going to go to 3D assets. Now again, if you're making a game, just for anyone, I know you guys know this, but if you're making a game in Unreal, you can access all of the really nice scanned models from Quicksort for free. Because Epic Games bought Quicksort. Of course they did. We're going to be using one of these steps later as well. So you may as well take advantage of it, because they have a really nice range of scanned objects that you can use. And that's what we're going to do. We could actually even do something like this. We could take something like this here. Actually, that might be better. We'll do that. Let's take this, which is Japanese Park Stone Embankment, but we can use it. We're not making a Japanese level. It doesn't matter. So we're going to select it. We're going to download it. Sniper Girl says, YouTube, you're welcome. She says, no, those are the initial breaks in Maya. Oh, sorry. I bought them into ZBrush, but okay. Sniper Girl says it's the base mesh that she brought into Maya before she took it into ZBrush. Okay, fair enough. And if you want to see what I'm talking about and you don't want to wait for me till the end of the stream, then click that link Hellforge popped into Twitch chat to join the Phil Does 3D Discord. Okay, so let's jump into... Let me find that first, actually. The one thing that I find with Quicksort here, with Bridge, when you download these assets, is sometimes it puts it under really weird names, like it doesn't call it Japanese Park Stone Embankment. It it gives it like a jumble of 10 different letters and numbers. I don't know, and sometimes it does. So let's see if it did. So Japanese Park Stone Embankment is what we're looking for. It'll probably be here. I download them, which it puts it here, and then I also export them because the export gives me access to LOD 0. You don't need to do lotting yourself with Quixel Bridge. The assets are actually auto-lod for you or already lotted for you. But I tend to like to do the lotting myself, just because, I'm a bit of a control freak. So I'm just going to see if it's put it in the right spot or not. Doesn't look like it has, which is what a surprise. Let me just change the view here. We'll change it to... We'll sort it by date modified. Let's see what that gets us. Nope. Okay, where else could it have put it? Downloaded 3D. And we're looking for... Again, let's change the sort order to date modified. And that's it there. So it's under Historical Feudal Japan. VEQHEJ. See what I mean? So that's a bit annoying. I wish they wouldn't do that. I wish they'd keep the naming the same. It would make finding the file much easier. So if it's called Japanese Park Stone Embankment there, call it Japanese Park Stone Embankment here, not Historical Feudal in Japan. Anyway. So you do see here, by doing an export, you get access to the original scan as well as the lotted version that they create for you. We're going to work with the original. I'm going to do the lotting myself, the initial lotting myself. So I'm just going to keep that open and we're going to jump into Max. I'm just going to close down Bridge. This is something else we're going to work on for another part of the landscape. I was going to do that, but we have to do this first. So let's make a new file. Let's import that model we just exported. No, that's the wrong one. Megascans, downloaded 3D. And what was it called again? What was the folder called? Historical Feudal Japan. Historical Feudal Japan. I think it's this one. Yep. And we're not going to go with LOD 0. We're going to go with the original high poly version here. So you can see this is the original scan that the guys at Quixel did. Abigail says, sometimes, more like always. I mean, I can't think of a time it gave me a normal name. I know. It's really annoying. Helpwood says, Japanese Hearthstone Embankment. Stop it, you'll confuse me. You know how easy it is to get me confused. Helpwood says, my mistake. I thought you were typically trying to confuse me. Purposefully trying to confuse me, I meant to say. So what we're going to do here is I'm just going to grab the texture. Actually, I'm going to save this out. So I'm going to go, before I do anything, do a save as. We're going to save it into, pardon me. Soil banks into that folder. We're going to create a new subfolder and we're going to call it Step Ledge. Why not? Steps Ledge. And we're going to call it Steps Ledge. Okay, and I'm also going to just copy the color map, the normal map and the roughness map, not using displacement. Now you might be wondering why we're not using tessellation or displacement in the game, because they're really useful things to use. They can really help improve the look of a game without adding too much to the performance, reducing performance too much. But the reason we're not using them is because tessellation and displacement are not compatible with DirectX 12. Well, they are, but not with ray tracing in DirectX 12. So if you want to release a game that's using ray tracing, you cannot use tessellation or displacement. You can't use pixel offset either, actually. They're not actually compatible with ray tracing, with RTX ray tracing. So just bear that in mind if you're making a game and you want to take advantage of ray tracing in your game. Do not use tessellation, displacement, or pixel offset. Unless that, yeah, I'm pretty sure still pixel offset is not compatible as well. Like it used to be world position offset wasn't compatible, but it is now. So that if you're watching this video on in the future, it may have changed. They may have added support for displacement, tessellation, or pixel offset, but currently, as of now, it is not compatible with ray tracing. So. Howard says, "Hey Phil, save and copy." Good. Let me just copy these first, and then I'll have a copy. So I'm just going to copy those into that folder we just made. Just keeping everything together. If I have to come back and alter an asset, makes it much easier for me than trying to go through those weird folder names that Bridge spits out. Helpful says, "No, I was trying to be helpful by typing out what you were just looking at in the chat. I just didn't hear what you said initially." No worries, it's okay. So we're just going to swap out this texture here to the one we just exported, which will be soil banks, step sledge, this one. And let's just assign that. Now again, I'm gonna do the initial lotting on this. I'm gonna get Unreal to do automatic lotting, but the initial lotting here I'll do by hand. And I like to use a plugin. Max has Pro Optimizer built into it, which is good. It does the same thing. It's an optimization tool, but I like to use a plugin called Polygon Cruncher. I used this before this was even included in Max, and this is constantly updated by the developer, and it does a really good job. Many times when Pro Optimizer fails, Polygon Cruncher will do fine. So, but I always like to merge the verts, and I want to keep the textures. Let's get it to do initial calculation. It is fine, don't worry, Max won't crash. This is just what happens when it's trying to work out how to optimize the mesh initially. Okay. And we're going to jump down straight away we'll go to 10% of the polygons. That's still too much. I'm going to go to 5% of the polygons. Let's try going to 2% of the polygons. And I think we can get away with 2%. It hasn't altered the look of the mesh at all. So we should be good. So I'm just going to collapse the stack. Convert it back to a poly. Rename this to step sledge. I like to always do a reset on the X form just to be on the safe side. Probably unnecessary, but you never know. Actually, what I might do here too is I might just scale this up a little bit. And again, one more reset because we did a scale. And let's export it. No, not that one. This one. Soil banks, step sledge, and step sledge. Now you'll notice this is a lot darker than what you see for the stairs inside of Unreal. That's because I did color correction on this inside of Photoshop. So we're going to have to do a bit of color correction on the texture before we bring it in. So I'm going to jump into Photoshop and we're going to open up the texture that we just saved, which is this one. I'm also going to open up the texture for the steps that we have so I can get a color match. So that will be upstairs at certain study stylized. What did I save it under? That's the question. I know I gave it its own folder actually. I just can't remember what I called the folder. Stone steps, this one here I think, yeah, or maybe not. I think it's steps, no it's not that one either. No, maybe it's not under that. I know how I can find it. I'm going to jump into Unreal and I'm going to look for this, and it's going to show me down the bottom source file, projects, models, shell shape planter. Okay. So it will be here, and that's the texture that I did some correction on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to, let's arrange this and we'll tile it up to 4. Just ignore, that's for another stone, and this is for something else we're going to work on if I get the time today. So this is the color corrected version I did for the other steps. We're going to have to match it to this one here. Which will be interesting because I can't quite remember how I did the color correction on it, but we'll do our best. So let's do a color balance. So before we do a color balance, let's do a levels on it. So I'll do a non-destructible level change. I'm pretty sure I just leveled it up. I don't think I did too much color correction. Well, looks like I might have done a little bit. So let's also add a color balance. Maybe throw a little bit more of the blue in. Let's go to these shadows. And the highlights. I'm going to go back to the levels and just make some adjustments with that, I think. Might just bring a little bit more red in. Basically, I'm just trying to get a comparison between these two to look similar. Let's see how that goes. So let's do a save as. Step sledge. We'll call it step ledge. I'm just going to save the original Photoshop file so I can come back to it if I need to. And we're going to do a save as the PNG steps ledge. Just waiting for that. Okay. Now let's jump into Unreal and let's import those step ledges. Now, what did I put on this? I put it under swirl banks, didn't I? Yep. Smurfs have saturation slider to maximum. No, you don't want to do that. Thank you, Hellforge. There's the Discord link. Hellforge has just popped into Twitch chat. If you want to join the Discord, which you should. Okay, I'm just a step sledge there. Okay. Now you see the name here. We're not going to use this texture. Let's import the corrected one that we made, which is this one. Let's make sure we turn off virtual texturing. Because we don't want that. Again, virtual texturing I found to be a little bit buggy in Unreal. Maybe that's just me, but yeah, I found it a little buggy. Step sledge. I think it's this one. Yeah, it's this one. Let's bring this one in and hook that up and remove that one. Okay, let's also import the normal and the roughness. I'm going to turn off virtual texturing again. And let's bring them in. We're not getting too carried away with the shader for the stone. It's not necessary. Roughness. Let's just rename that material if I can find it. Oh man, what was it called? This one. So steps, ledge, underscore matte for material. There we go. Okay, let's bring that in. I'm going to probably have to do a little bit more color correction on it, but that's okay. We'll go this way, I guess. Let's make it a little bigger. Maybe a little bigger.
pictures of the past, the brighter future that I want to last. I'm looking for the place to share my dreams. I'll hold on tightly to what I believe.
We might move them down just a little bit. Maybe up just a little bit more. And I'm just going to make a bit of a color correction. So let's jump back into Photoshop. And I think we might need to bring a little bit more red in. Okay, let's re-import that again. Okay, it's turned on virtual texturing again, which we don't want. I think it needs more blue.
I have painted pictures of the past, the brighter future that I want to last. I'm looking for the place to share my dreams. I'll hold on tightly to what I believe.
Turn off virtual texturing again. Hellforge says, join the Discord server. Do it! How did it go with the crate? Didn't you see last... He's talking about... We're doing an Easter egg in the game, which is a Half-Life... an Easter egg, which is a nod to Half-Life 2. So we put the Half-Life crate, the crowbar and the sunglasses in. Another girl says, no, make everything pink, bright pink. That's fine. I think I put a bit too much red in it now though, so let me remove a little bit of the red. Again, this is why we use an adjustment layer and not do it through this way. So you could go edit image adjustments and do the correction that way, but with using an adjustment layer, it adds it as a, it adds it here as a layer in the stack so that you can actually make adjustments. So it's better doing it this way. So let's just remove a little bit of the red again. You see me opening and closing programs. That's simply because I'm streaming to you guys. If I wasn't streaming, then I'd have Photoshop open on the second monitor beside me, and I'd keep Unreal open on the main one. Just in case anyone's wondering why I'm closing and opening programs, that's the reason. I can only stream one screen at a time to you guys on Twitch. Okay, we should be good now. I might just narrow that a little bit. And again, I'm just making sure that the stones don't stick up too high. I want to make sure the player doesn't get blocked as they're moving across them. But I think they should be okay. Okay, well that's fine. We've got our stairs here which will lead up to our path which leads to our gate. You're talking about the crate, so yes, we got that all finished. We got the Half-Life crate in, the Easter egg hidden over here in the corner. So we've got Gordon Freeman's glasses, the crowbar, and the supply crate. That's the only Easter egg I'm going to be showing on stream. I have put the other Easter eggs in the game. I've hidden them. You guys will have to find them yourself while you're playing. But I thought we'd show that one. So. Android Lust says, did you put the Easter egg in already? Yes, we did. I put all the Easter eggs in. I've just shown you the Half-Life Easter egg, but I'm not showing you guys where the other Easter eggs are hidden. You guys will have to find them. And I did put that surprise in the fridge for you, for anyone that's playing the game as well. And I won't tell you what it is. You'll just have to check it out when you play the game. Elfwood says to Sniper Girl, how do you feel about, pardon me, mint green and bubblegum pink? That reminds me of an episode of South Park where they did the superheroes, mint something or other. One of the superheroes shot mint, I can't even remember what they were now. Mint something or other was his superhero name, I can't remember exactly. That's what it reminds me of. I'm just going to do a save all here while I have a coffee. Android Lost says, only because it's Valve. The crate reminds me of a companion cube from Portal. Well, this is based on the crate from Half-Life. So, maybe Valve reused the similar design for Portal. Because it's been so long since I played the Portal game. This is based on Half-Life's crate. Hopefully people will get it. I guess we'll find out once the game is released. Sniper Girl says, depends on what you mean by mint green, because Googled it and nobody agrees with what that shade is. Okay, so what we're going to do here now is we're going to bring in, well, I'm going to, we did a save, didn't we? I'm pretty sure we did. Yep. I'm going to delete this virtual texture because we're not using it. Just make sure everything stays nice and organized. I did bring in a planter, which is this thing here. So we're going to bring that in. We'll scale it up. Let's rotate it around. Actually, we might rotate it that way, I think. Do I want it on an angle? No. I'm just trying to gauge scale here a little bit. How big a statement do we want to make these? Maybe not quite that big a statement. Just scale it back a little bit. Okay, let's duplicate it. So I can fill that with anything really, like with a rock or something, but I'm just wondering if we can get away with filling it with one of these. Like I'd move that forward, but I'm just working out whether I like the look of that or not. No. We'll fill it with a stone or something. So we'll move this one around about here. While I remember, or I forget, I should fill this with something. So let's see, what can we fill that little hole with? We could put a plant there, or we could put a stone there. Let's see what a stone looks like. Or a boulder, I should say, not a stone. Boulder should work. Whoa. I might just move this over a little bit. Again, we're getting this glitching happening because I haven't rebuilt the lighting for a while. Might just move this over a little bit. Again, I'm going to do a quick save because it always freaks me out when I see the graphics do it. It's unlikely to crash. Unreal has been really stable. Most of the time I've worked with it, I don't think it's, if it's crashed, it's only crashed a couple of times. Generally the program is pretty stable, but it just freaks me out when I see that happening. I'm just wondering whether we should rotate these. So I'm just going to see what they look like rotated. I'm doing one, I can sort of guess what the other one would look like. No, I think it's probably better the way it was. We could rotate them this way. No, I think while we could rotate them that way, we could rotate them sideways. Sideways, it's not bad. We probably want to rotate them that way if we were going to do it sideways, because we don't want this bit to overhang too much where the player would have to walk through. I don't know, what do you guys think? Sideways or forward ways? Which do you guys prefer? Do you think it looks better having the shell pointing to the side or the shell pointing forward? Sniper Girl says every manufacturer has the different idea of what those shades are. Android Lust says there's too many labels for shades of colour. Mint green would just be a seafoam green for me if someone asks. Sniper Girl says forward, Android Lust says forward, Smurfberry says side, and make it gold. Yeah, I agree with you guys. I think forward is probably better. I mean, yeah. Yeah, no. Yeah, no, I agree. Forward. Alright. We could leave them empty like this, but I think they might look really good having a plant in there, because why not? So let's see what plant we've got that we can put in the shells. So I don't think I've got any, no, I don't have plants there. Where have I put my plants? Foliage? Maybe. Hey, look, Snippery wants everything to be gold. Let me have a coffee while I think about it. I'm just wondering if they should be pointing forward, but this way. No. No, that'll be fine. No. So what plant do we have here that we can put in there? We've got this dog rose, it could look okay. Let's see what that looks like, I guess. I actually really would like something with like red in it, but I don't actually have any plants that have red in them, which is unfortunate. This is a speed tree plant. It does have it has like these red flower pods. Just want to have a look at the materials here. Snubby Girl says to Hellforge, posted something in the general that you should look at. Oh, cool. Yeah, check out what she's posted there, Hellforge. I don't think Hellforge is in the UK though. Not that he couldn't move, but yeah. Hellforge says, got to grab a dope looking fern. Yeah, a fern might look cool. I haven't made, we have a fern that is a speed tree, but I don't know if it'll look good in that pot. And I haven't made anything new in speed tree. But yeah, I don't think the fern here would look, we can see what the fern looks like. It can't hurt to check it out, see if it looks any good. We could make it bigger. I think what I'll do you know, I don't mind the look of the fern in there. I think it looks interesting. Let's just duplicate one for the other side so I can get a better idea of what it looks like. And I'm just going to rotate it around so it's less obvious we're using the same fern. I don't know. What do you guys think? Don't think there's anything else I could use here. I'd have to make something else in SpeedTree. I just want to see what the dog rows would look like in there. Sniper Girl says, doesn't matter, allows for remote work. Oh, for remote work currently due to human malware. Okay, fine. Yeah, no, I keep forgetting about a lot of companies do it remotely now. Well, I should know because I mean most of my work is done remotely with the ArchViz studio, even though the studio's in Melbourne here where I live. That's why I've got to go in for meetings next week. Like, occasionally they want to see me and talk to me about stuff, but they don't want to do it over Zoom or anything. Or Cisco or any of the other video platforms. I have to have all, like I've got at least 2 different video platforms installed, video conferencing platforms, because different companies use different software, and like NVIDIA use Cisco. Yeah, Film Victoria, who I'm also in contact with, they use Zoom. And I hate having any of these programs installed on my computer because I think there's security risks. But anyway, you have to. Got no choice. Snappy Girl says, literally my last sentence in that post. I didn't read the post. Give me a break. I just noticed you posted it when you mentioned it to Hellforge. And I didn't read the actual what you'd written. I just saw a hard surface weapon prop artist at Atom Hawk. I looked at the bit that you, not what you wrote, but the graphic that you popped up when the message went up. Hellforge says, I don't mind moving, to be honest. I've had my eye on New York for a while. Just got to get a job first. But I'm not dead set on the idea. Yeah, look, I know a lot of, like, I've been in the design industries and film, ArchViz and games for many years. And a lot of my friends move around quite a bit around the world. They move to different countries depending on what the job is at the time. They like it. They like traveling. The older you get like me, the less you want to travel. But if you're a young'un like you guys, a lot of you young people like to travel around the world, so it's a great way to see the world, for sure. I'm too set in my ways now. As an old man, I don't like traveling around much anymore. Like, yeah, I don't like working overseas too much anymore. Andrew Loss says, New York is expensive, but don't let what I said discourage you. Melbourne is expensive too. I can't remember. There was a report done about a year and a half ago where they rate how expensive each city around the world is. And New York was, way up there for sure. But Melbourne was really up there as well. It was in like the top 10. Melbourne is getting incredibly expensive now. Melbourne and Sydney. Hellforge says, I've seen some apartment listings in New York and the rentals are pretty crazy. Even for just a shoebox sized place. Sniper Girl says, to Hellforge, you're welcome. I've honestly applied to it already, but you have a lot more experience with hard surface. I think you'd have a real chance in getting it, especially with your work of late. Yeah, he does some beautiful work. Sniper Girl says, I'm honestly trying to get out of the States. Why? I don't like the politics. Most people are too right-wing in my opinion. Oh, come on. You've just got rid of a horrible president. You've got a good one. Well, I'm assuming it's a good one. I don't really follow much of what Mr. Biden is doing, but can't be any worse than what you had, put it that way. So things are improving. I actually wouldn't mind living in the US. I haven't thought about it a lot, but I've never been to the United States actually, even for a holiday. But there are places in the US that I think are really beautiful. Portland. I'd love to live in Portland actually. From what I've seen of the area, it's beautiful. Like forests and things like that. Looks beautiful, Portland. Or Seattle. I wouldn't mind living in Seattle either. Or Canada. Canada is another nice spot that I wouldn't mind living in. And Helpwood says Canada is close though. Yes, Smurf says yes, you would. What? Smurf says the trees don't pay for your healthcare bill. Like, this is true. But it does look so beautiful in Portland. All those forests and things, it just look beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The weather looked nice and cold too, which is the other thing I like. Sniper Girl says, dude, if you have to be scared of getting sick or needing medical care, there's issues. Let's not talk about prison system or how there's mandatory minimums that the states have to fill them to. I actually have seen documentaries about that where, because you privatise your prison system, I think we might even, I think we do in this country too. So I've seen documentaries on the court system in the US and how sometimes people are convicted so that the prisons can be filled up to, to fund these private companies that run the prison. That's not good. Smurf says the forests are on fire. Oh no. Don't say that. That's no good. I know that in Greece at the moment it's really quite bad with the forest fires. I just want to see what one of these dog roses would look like, basically. We might be able to mix the two together. We can have a fern and a rose at the same time. We'll see. We'll see if it'll work or not. Probably not, because, the fern is pretty big on its own. What about if we make the fern a little bit smaller? And maybe move it out a little bit to the side, and that way we can maybe move the dog rose over a little bit. Yeah, you know what? I don't think I like the rose in there at all. I think it was better just with the fern. Stop that, Unreal. Let's move that back over a little bit. Stop that, Unreal. Stop it, Unreal. You're annoying. Bad program. Bad. I really got to do a rebuild on this. Again, one of the other reasons why I can't stream next week, because of the deliverable I've got due for the game. I need to devote some time to doing a couple of rebuilds on some lighting, and I need to use all my machines to do that. Let's just do a save all here. Is there anything else I can add in that pot? Healthwood says large scale barbecue, get hype. Nabigil says, I mean, we have half the country that's politicising masks and vaccines. Yeah, and again, I heard about that as well. I don't understand some people, I really don't. I mean, you don't politicise things that are public health. With when it comes to people's lives, you should not be politicising stuff like that. We're doing it, we do it here as well in Australia. So I'm not pointing the finger at you guys in the US because we're just as bad here in this country. Because we've had a problem with the vaccine rollout. Unlike you guys in the United States where you're up to almost 80% of your population vaccinated. Australia is only at like 22% fully vaccinated. And that's because the government here, the federal government who are in charge of the rollout of the vaccine, stuffed up basically. They chose to to concentrate on distributing one vaccine, which was the Oxford AstraZeneca vaccine. And then they found out later that it can cause blood clots and death in some people. I mean, it's a very small chance, but that was enough to freak out the population of Australia, who thought, well, I'm not going to get that because I might die. So then the government had to scramble and try and get the Pfizer vaccine and the Moderna. They're both. Pfizer is available at the moment, but in small quantities because the government didn't order it early enough, and everyone around the world wants it. And Moderna is not. The first doses of Moderna enter the country at the end of next month, so that's the reason our vaccination's low, because we haven't had vaccine supply. And that was because of the government putting all their eggs in one basket with one vaccine, which was just foolish. So that hasn't gone down well. But yeah, it's disturbing when people play politics with people's lives. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Sniper Girl says, also I'm transgender. More than half the country I could be evicted because of that alone, and done so legally. Well, that's terrible. Wow, that is truly terrible. We're much more enlightened in Australia with that sort of thing. That's against the law. You cannot discriminate against race, sexual orientation, anything like that. Sniper Girl says, so yeah, would love to be in a different, more liberal country. Yeah, well, when I think of the United States, I always, in the past anyway, have thought of it as quite a liberal country. I guess the last few years changed that a little bit with everything that went on over there in in the US, but I don't think. I think they're all fighting a losing battle. You can't turn back the tide. Once things start to change, it's pretty much impossible to stop it. I mean, in a good way, like, anti-discrimination, all that sort of thing. I mean, I've also heard about the anti-abortion stuff that's changing in the US, and that's really worrying as well. That they're trying to make it illegal to have an abortion, women to have an abortion in a lot of states in the US now. That's terrible. I don't want to turn this into a politics thing, but also the voting changes that the states are trying to make, the different states are trying to make it harder for people to vote. That is terrible as well. I mean, that's your democratic right to have a vote. And for them to try and make it so that more difficult for you to vote, that's an attack on democracy as far as I'm concerned. I think that's terrible. Anyway, we don't have that problem here, thankfully. It's actually required in this country to vote. It's legally required. You'll get fined or jailed if you don't. You must vote. Android Lust says, all of the US doesn't look like what's shown on TV. Yeah. Some places look third world or looks like it's out of the 1940s. Yeah, look, that's a good point. It's something I often forget about too. I know that, yeah, what you see on TV is not a representation of the whole country. Because I know that it's the same here in Australia. Not everyone throws shrimp on a barbie and all that sort of jazz here in Australia. We don't have kangaroos hopping down the street. So, good point. Sniper Girl says, like I said, the politics too right-wing for me. And she says to Android Lust, yeah, that's 100% true. There was a study done recently that showed that we had the first world and third world conditions. We had both first and third world conditions in the US. Smurf says, even smaller chance of that being on birth control. Even smaller chance of that being on birth control. Sniper Girl says, I mean, the fence is greener on the other side. Well, that's always true. I mean, the grass is greener on the other side of the fence. Smurf says, chance. Then, yeah, I get what you're saying, Smurf. Hellboy says, I was going to say, if the fence is greener on the other side, your neighbour haven't been keeping their side maintained. Smurf says, the US was always like that. It was just hidden. Look, we got bigots in this country too, don't worry. We got some real horrors in Australia. Don't think because that's unique to the United States. I mean, yeah, we got some horrible people here as well. Really horrible people. Thankfully, they're in the minority. I hope, anyway. Smurf says there's a guy from New Zealand who streams his wood carving on Twitch. He's super chill. I want to move to New Zealand and chill with him. I'd like to live in New Zealand as well, actually. I've actually thought about moving to New Zealand because there's a couple of studios over there I can probably get some work with without too much of an issue in Auckland. So I've thought about it because it does look beautiful. New Zealand does look beautiful. It is beautiful. It's a beautiful place, New Zealand. Just a bit smaller than Australia. I don't know how I feel about that, living there. But because, I can't leave the country at the moment because of the human malware, so I can't go to New Zealand. New Zealand can't come here. But once that's all sorted and once that's fixed with vaccines, when they open up international travel again to Australia, you don't need a visa to travel between New Zealand and Australia. We have like an agreement, so I wouldn't need to get a visa to work in New Zealand. I could just fly there and work, and they can just fly here and work. So I have thought about it. Seriously thought about it, because they have a cooler climate too, which I like. Sniper says, yeah, you're right there. The Overton window of the US has always been on the right. It's why senators that would be international centrists are considered radical left. Thank you. There's the Discord server if you want to join the Discord. Become a Fildo. Or you can wishlist the game you see me working on here by clicking that link Hellforge popped into chat, which will take you to Steam where you can wishlist it. Hellforge says, no springy boys down the road. I've been lied to. No, that... okay, I don't think there's anything else I can put in these shells. I'm just thinking though, I might put some soil in there because that looks a bit weird. Just having and you'll be able to see it as you walk past them. So if they were hidden higher, I wouldn't worry. But because you can see them, they really need some soil. So where did I put my soil? Into plants, maybe? Yes. So let's just grab one of these soil rings and pop it in here. Let's scale it up a bit. We might need to make it up a little bit bigger. So it might still need to be a bit bigger again. These are big shells. That should do. Making sure I'm not sticking through, no. Okay, let's just duplicate it. And move one over the other side. Good. Wow, stop that. Just something. I just feel that it needs something else here in these pots apart from just a fern. Just not sure what. Sniper Girl says, sorry for the political rant. Just Yeah, it's something that I've been thinking about a lot. She says, your people on YouTube will be so happy I said stuff about politics. Sorry. Oh, that's okay. They can fast forward me. I think, what about if we bring in this? Let me see what this looks like. So what if we mix the ferns with this, I can't actually remember what this is called, this plant. These are actually made as for indoor plants, but that doesn't mean we can't use it outside here. And it has that red in it, which is what I really wanted to have here. I wanted a bit of red, so. So let's duplicate that. There we go. It's just Unreal being a little bit glitchy there. Let's rotate it so it doesn't look like a copy of the other one on the other side. I think that's better. Just a little bit of red there just helps to break up all of the green, basically. We could even go with more of it if we wanted to. In fact, I think we will. I think we'll duplicate it one more time. And we'll move one back here as well. And rotate it. And we'll do the same on this side. And let's rotate it. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Good. Let's do a quick save and I can have a copy. Helpboard says YouTube comments in general is a mixed bag of silly. Yeah. You get a lot of spam on YouTube as well. Like you can comment on my videos, but you'll notice if you try and comment on my videos that the comment doesn't show up. That's because I hold everything for moderation. Because you get so much strange commenting going on YouTube, or spam. You get a lot of spam too. So if you post a comment on one of my YouTube videos, people watching me on YouTube, don't be surprised. It won't show up immediately. I have to vet them first. And provided you don't say anything horrid, I bet, you know, I approve them, but it's only the spam stuff that I like to delete generally. So even if you say something negative, I'll generally approve it about me or about my videos. It's just the spam that gets deleted, but all of that I have to approve because I don't trust the spammers on YouTube. It's the same reason that if you join the Phil Does 3D Discord server, you can't post immediately. There's a 15-minute cooldown, and again, that's to stop spam bots and stuff. So, Sniper Girl says this is true about the YouTube comments being a mixed bag of silly. Android Lust says I generally pretend YouTube doesn't have comments, especially for any non-art related video. Yeah, look, the comments are useful, particularly for art stuff, because a lot of people like to ask questions, and yeah, so it's a good way to help people on you know, if they're not sure about something, by posting a question in the comments on YouTube about something you're not sure about, related to the video you just watched, of course. Helpwood says, only time I really look at the comments on YouTube is for the timestamps for a live concert. Otherwise, I tend to avoid them too. Sniper Girl says, I tend to avoid the comments as well. Android Lust says, spam can be better than some other comments. Well, this is true. You get some horrible people on around. Not just YouTube, like Twitter and Facebook and... yeah. It's the things some people say. So I agree with you all. But yeah, just to be aware of that, if you do post on my YouTube channel, I need to approve them. They won't show up immediately. But generally I approve them unless you're really, really horrible. You'll say something really, really awful. And then it will get deleted. Just reading what Smooper wrote here in the gallery about people posting their... And Smurf says, look at you improving your stuff. Helpwood says, spam and mashed potatoes can be pretty good. Yeah, though, actually I like spam. I don't know, a lot of people turn their nose up at spam, but I quite like spam. It is very salty though. But you are right, with mashed potatoes, it can be quite nice, especially with a cold brew. Yep, I don't say no to spam. I think spam's quite nice. I mean, I wouldn't eat it all the time because it is very salty, but I like to actually fry it up. So a little bit of butter, a bit of garlic, slice your spam, fry it up in a saucepan. You've never eaten spam, Android Lust? Really? You don't know what you're missing. Again, it's not everyone's taste, and it's, you know, and it is very salty. It's a tin thing. But I like it occasionally, and like I said, I like to have it fried up. I like to fry it up with some butter and garlic. Yum. Smurf says, you should at least once. I agree. Not everyone likes it. You might not like it. And I wouldn't eat it every day, but occasionally it's nice. Sniper Girl says it's disgusting. Yeah, you're either going to love it or you're going to hate it. It's one of those things. It's like Vegemite. I don't know if you guys have tried Vegemite in the US, but it's an Australian thing. A spread that you put on bread or toast, and it's an acquired taste as well. I mean, I like Vegemite, but a lot of people don't. There was a funny story about 12 months ago. I think Tom Hanks was over here doing a film, and they gave him Vegemite like one morning at the hotel he was staying in. You know, he got his breakfast sent to his room, and then Mr. Hanks posted, I think on Instagram or something, or Twitter, or a picture of his breakfast after and he smeared the Vegemite over his toast, and he put way too much on. You meant to use a really, really tiny amount. And I think he spread his whole piece of toast with Vegemite that was about that thick. And you don't eat Vegemite like that. That's disgusting. Not even an Australian would do that. So yeah, spam is the same. You'll either love it or you'll hate it. Android Lust says, when I was younger, I thought spam was artificial meat. So I basically never bothered to try it. To be honest, I don't even see it in stores, though it's there. Yeah, spam. It's not artificial meat, it's real meat, but it's I'm not sure actually how they make it. But it is meat. Helpwood says it's probably a difference in quality and taste across the nations, so the spam we have here might taste very different from what you have in the US. I don't know, I haven't checked where our spam is actually made in Australia, whether it comes from overseas or not. I think I might have a tin in the cupboard actually. Let me get it. I'm curious, hang on, I'll be back in 2 seconds. And I do. This is spam. So I'm just going to read where it's actually manufactured. So that's what it looks like in Australia. My YouTube people will be screaming at the moment, but look, it says here, made in the USA. So there you go. So our spam comes from the United States. There you go. But yeah, it's meat in a tin, basically. Andrew Dust says, yeah, same spam we have, I think. Yeah, well, again, it is. I've read the label and it's actually manufactured in the United States. So there you go. I wasn't aware of. I don't generally. I mean, I try to know where my food is coming from, but this is a tin I've had in the cupboard for quite a while. So. Yeah. Andrew Loss says, some reason I thought it was a yellow tin with a red top. No, it's a blue tin with a yellow top. So that's what it looks like though. It's like meat. Let me just put it that way. There we go. It looks like it's been fried up here as well in that picture. Okay, so I don't know that there's much more we need to do for the front here. I've been staring at this for a little while because I have to try and work out how we're going to marry this landscape with the one that's going to be. It won't be out there, but it'll be another landscape. And I've sort of been taking over the weekend. I've been trying to think about how I'm going to do that because I need a way when the player comes from the first landscape at the beginning of the game to the middle landscape here of hiding the first landscape before you get to the second landscape, because you know we're using level streaming in the game, so halfway between the two landscapes I have to unload the old one and we have to load the new one. So yeah, I've been sort of like racking my brain trying to work out how we're going to tackle that. The second landscape here to the third landscape, which is at the end of the game, that's fine because that will happen. Pardon me. That will happen via that lift that we've made. So basically, the unloading and loading will happen as the player is traveling down a lift, which a lot of games do. They do it in a lift. But this one's a little bit more tricky. I'm sure we'll work it out. Mass Effect Smurf says, that's right, Mass Effect. You got it in one. And not just Mass Effect, a lot of games do it in a lift. I actually just finished watching a Let's Play again of Mass Effect 3, I think it was. Because they've just re-released it. Like, you know, I don't know what they did to it. They upped the textures or something. So I just watched a Let's Play of Mass Effect 3. Yeah, and it was all done in the lift. Oh, Maxo Friendo wants me to hydrate. I will do that. Hey Maxo Friendo, it's good to see you. I hope you had a good weekend. Smurf says, I can't bring myself to play it again. Yeah, I didn't play it. I watched somebody else play it. I'm going to hydrate with some water because that's the best way to hydrate, not coffee. Coffee doesn't actually hydrate either. So we'll have some water to hydrate. But it's good to see you, Maxo Friendo. Hope you're doing well. Hope you had a good weekend. So I can mark that as complete. What were we talking about? Oh, that's right, Mass Effect, yeah. And using lips as transitions between levels. So yeah, I don't think we actually need to... I've got to work out how we're going to transition between those levels, but I don't think we need to add anything else here at the beginning of this part of the level. So we're going to come through, we're going to come around. You guys know that there's a hidden Easter egg here. It's the only one I'm showing you. All the others will be are hidden. I've already put them in the level, but you don't know where they are. You'll have to find them. And then we come through our gate. So what we're going to do now is we're going to move to the other side of the landscape. I think we'll start on this side through here. hang on, where am I going? I'm getting confused. Back of the building. Over here. Alrighty. Nexo Friendo says you can put a check mark in the good weekend box, Phil. Oh, that's good to hear. It's good that you've had a good weekend. Always good to hear. Okay, now let me get my bearings here. So we're going to want to... Now, I want to bring in a... just got to work out where I want to put it. I want to bring in an outhouse, because you know it was the running joke for a very long time with you guys that the house didn't have a bathroom. It does now, of course. And we were talking about having to put an outhouse out in the forest. So I thought, well, why not? You know, I've got a bathroom now, but let's put an outhouse in the game as well. Because, yeah, why not? So that's what we're going to do here. And I'm actually going to use the outhouse will be used for part of the gameplay. Like, yeah, you'll need to find the outhouse to actually solve a puzzle. Actually, it's funny. To get into the kitchen, you'll need to find the outhouse. That's all I'll say. So if you want to get into the kitchen in the building, you'll need to search out the outhouse. Copy and save. Well, I won't save because I just said, well, yeah, let's save anyway. And I have a copy. Smurf says, Estoy poopin'. Estoy poopin'? Maxo Friendo says, oh, a mystery, I love it. Hellpoint says, will be golden. Or will it be golden? Ah, you people. Keep it clean, guys. So yeah, I have to, there was a spot that I decided I wanted to have it, but it's been a while since I've been to this part of the landscape, so I've just got to remember where I wanted to put it. I think it was around here. Yeah, that's that bit down there. Yeah, and that's going to be that bit over there. So I believe I wanted to have it around here. Yeah. So the player travels up. I could either put it there or I could put it here. Well, first things first, let's bring in the base for the outhouse. So where did I put it? Outhouse, there we go. So we have like a stone base we're going to be using. Scale it up. So I could either put it like over here, or I could put it over here. It'll probably make more sense once we get more plants and things in, but maybe in this corner here. Yeah, it might be better. Or we could go here. I might just scale it up a little bit so it's a bit thicker. We might rotate it around a bit. We can always move it after the fact anyway. We don't have to be set in stone, as they say. Yeah, I'm going to make it a bit thicker again, just so it sinks into the ground properly. Okay, let us bring in the outhouse now. Tiny little outhouse, we don't want that. This is one of our adventurers that didn't make it. He died on the toilet. What a way to go. Smurf says, I'm okay with just one gold toilet. Hellboy says, but 2 is twice the gold. Oh, math checks out. Okay, let's just place our outlet. It is about in the middle, I guess. Snappy Girl says I should totally make an outhouse in the gas station. Why not? Everyone loves a good outhouse. Make an outhouse in the gas station. I think that's a great idea. I'm just checking scaling here. I think that might be a little bit big. We might just scale it back a bit. Sniper Girl says, I mean, it's not like they'd have indoor plumbing in an apocalypse. No, well, this is very true. So it would be functional as well as an interesting thing to have in your scene. So I think you should go for it. Poor man. Died on the toilet. And again, I'm just pulling back here so I can judge my scaling. Okay. Helpwood says it wouldn't be the hardest model to make. It's not. Look, you see how what this looks like. It's a really simple model. It's basically, you know, a rectangle with a sloped roof, if you want a sloped outhouse, of course. So it's not a difficult model to make at all. And then, of course, inside is just a toilet seat on a wooden box. So, yeah. Snappy Girl says during the apocalypse, so agreed, would be easy. Could also do some sort of makeshift well. Yep. Fallout reference, Sage Red Lust says. It is sort of like a Fallout reference, but they had super modern toilets in Fallout. Okay, so what we're going to do now is we're going to bring in, I've got a suitcase, which we will bring in and scale up. And let's rotate it around, maybe. Initially I wanted to put the suitcase in here, but there's just not enough room, so we're going to have it just outside of the outhouse. We're going to move the outhouse back just a little bit. Let's move the suitcase forward a little bit so it's not intersecting the wall, but up against it. And the suitcase is there because you need to actually collect something from the suitcase, like I said, to actually use in the building. But I am going to bring in a laudanum bottle. So basically the story will be that he couldn't escape the hollow, so he went to the outhouse. He had this bottle of laudanum on him. Now, I don't know if you guys are familiar, but laudanum was very big back in the 1900s. It was like a drug. I'm not completely sure what they used it for back in the day. Maybe I can read it. Laudanum is the same strength. It had opium in it. So basically it's liquid opium. So he took his laudanum and drank the entire bottle, and that's what killed him. So yeah, and there'll be a note with the body as well, sort of a little short note from the guy saying, I can't escape, so I'm just going to sit here and take my laudanum and whatever. Sniper Girl says pain meds is what they used it for, pain medication. Okay, so yeah, I'm just going to bring the bottle in. Actually, no, I won't do that. How are we going for time? Okay, I'm going to. So this will be a bottle you can pick up, but you don't add it to your inventory because it's not part of any puzzle, but it's just an interesting sort of like side story to what's going on here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to find, it's got to go into the right folder, blueprint, object, general objects. Yep, this will do. So I'm just going to duplicate one of the inspectable objects, blueprints, and it's going to be BP inspectable laudanum LAU. So I'm just going to open up that blueprint. Now this is the inspectable pen that's on the study desk, and we're just going to swap that out with that bottle of laudanum. Just making sure that that is correct. If not, I haven't got the wrong blueprint. No, that's fine. It's just an inspectable one. Good. Let's jump back into here and let's pull that into the game. Let's sort of rotate it a little bit. How are we going to have this sitting? I think we will move it. Might be a little bit big. I'm just going to scale it back a little bit. And I'll have it resting. Just against the edge of this suitcase. That'll do. Okay. There is something else I need to put here. I need to bring in one of the crystal keys. So we want the green one. Scale this up. Scale this up. Actually, we might do that tomorrow, because I need to make sure the scaling is correct. Okay, let's just do a quick save. And I just want to check out the stuff you guys popped in the gallery. Welcome, Rick, to the Phil Does 3D Discord server. If you want to post anything, Rick, it'll just take 15 minutes and then you'll be approved after you've joined. So yeah, I just want to look at what you guys popped in the gallery. So Hellforge has been working on his pistol, so let's check that out. Again, that's my website if you want to know more about me. Very nice, Hellforge. Very nice. Yeah, I think you've done a great job. I love what you've done with the gun. I think it's looking amazing. I love the texturing work here you've got going on in the metal. It's looking really cool. Nice detailing going on in the gun as well, like in the handle and the trigger. Looking really cool. Beautiful work. I think you've done a really nice job. Love it. Yeah, really nice. I don't know what you're unhappy with. I think that looks great. So Sniper Girl has posted, figured the back area will be more damaged due to construction work that went on back there. May add more brakes and ZBrush. There's a bunch of pics. Is there? Oh, on your art station. Okay, hang on. Let me have a look at your art station. Sorry, I just noticed the one image and I thought... Okay, cool. So this is Hellforge's art station. Again, check out his work. This is the link to Hellforge's art station if you want to check it out, guys, if you're not on the Discord. Yeah, really nice, Hellforge. Gun's looking great. And I really, really, really like all the detailing you've got going on in the metal. Yeah, it looks super, super amazing. I love it. Love it. Yeah, looks really good. Metal looks really good. The model looks good too, don't get me wrong. Everything's looking really, really nice. Beautiful work. Hellforge says, I'm really happy with that version. It was the previous version that looks like hot garbage by comparison. Yeah, no, this looks really good. I like the detail in the texture map for the metal. Looks really nice. And nice detailing on the model as well. Nice clean loops. The high poly render. You said you do. Are you using Marmoset or is that somebody else to do to your? Are you doing? I'm just curious if you did a high to a low or if this is the high. It looks like the high to me. Yeah, it looks great, Hellforge. Either way, it's beautiful. Beautiful work. Beautiful texturing work too. You should be proud to put that in your portfolio. I think you've done an amazing job. And I particularly really love the texturing on the metal here. That's Excellent, excellent work. Sniper Girl agrees, does look good. Helpwood says, Android Lust says, very good for 5,700 tries. Really? Didn't expect that, the wireframe. Yeah. It is. I'm assuming this is the low poly. Did you do a bake out from high to low? I could be wrong. I often am. Helpwood says, Marmoset tool bag is great for that. Trying to render a wireframe in Painter is a headache. I think so. I think this is the low, isn't it, Helpwood? And this is the high. And you did a bake out from the high to the low to get your result here. I could be wrong. Sniper Girl says, oh my god, it totally is. That's Marmoset tool bag. Okay, yep. Helpwood says the blue one is the high poly. Material versions are low poly. Yep. So, so this is the low poly. Yep. So basically, the high poly here you've created, and then you baked it down to your low poly to get your final version textured. Looks amazing. Really nice work. I just want to show Sniper Girl's images as well, but you should be really proud of that, Helpwood. It looks amazing. You've done an outstanding job. Hang on, what's going on here? Oh, copy link. I think that's what I want. That's what I want. So, and Sniper Girl is working on like cracked and broken asphalt, bitumen, concrete. I'm not sure what you're going to go with for texturing, but the image she showed was a road, I think, from memory, that's broken up, and this is for a scene that she's working on at the moment. This is the version before she took it into ZBrush to do some detail work on, sculpting work on. So yeah, you're not breaking it up as much, but I think that's going to look really cool, Sniper Girl. I can see where you're adding some damage. Because you said in the original image you posted that it was actually more you didn't want to go quite as far as the image. I'll just show the image, which isn't Sniper Girl's work, but it's what she's working on, the type of thing. So it's like where the road has been broken up. Well, I'm assuming that's the road. Yeah. So she's going for this sort of look, but not so broken up. And yeah, I think that's really cool. It's going to look really nice. It suits the style of the scene as well. As I said on the Discord, it looks really good. It's going to look so cool. Textured up. Helpwood says standard game asset pipeline. It certainly is, but you've done beautiful work. Thanks guys for letting me show it on the stream. I know Sniper Girls are still a work in progress, so I think we might leave it there for today though, guys and girls. I'll be back tomorrow, of course, 5 p.m. Pacific time in the United States. We'll pick up where we left off and continue working on the landscape for the game around the outhouse. Depending on how much of work we get done for the outhouse section, then we're going to move to the other side of the landscape because we need to set up another scene over there. So yeah, I'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Pacific time. Now remember, tomorrow will be I'm streaming tomorrow, but I'm not streaming next week. I'm next week off, then back again the week after. But I'll be back on tomorrow and we'll continue where we left off with the landscape. You guys and girls take care, and hopefully I'll see you all tomorrow. See you guys.